Welcome everybody to Business with Super Joe Pardo. That's me, you're you, and we are going to do it big in 2019. This is an intro that I'm working on. This background is something you're probably not used to seeing. It is from my garage, but after having a great conversation with the great Engel Jones, I decided, if you're watching this live on Facebook, hello everybody. Sorry we're a little bit late. I decided that it was better to lift up the orange curtain because of the angle in which my camera sits. It just wasn't working out well. And you know what? This is literally where we're at in my garage, because this is the only place that I can get privacy at this hour here at my house. So that's what we're doing. So I wanted to do a Facebook Live. I have so many things going on right now that I haven't even announced, things that I want to update you guys on and girls on. And there's some people that, if you want to join, if you want to come hang out with us, hang out with me and with the guest I have on for this so far for this episode, shoot me a message or write in the comments on Facebook. And we can get you a link so you can come join us. Right now here in live and talk about business and what's been going on. Cause there's been plenty of episodes that I've been missing, not posting every single week. And I want to get better at that. But before I get into all of the awesomeness that this huge announcement that I have, I got to acknowledge that I have a person here with me. They've done other episodes with me on the MapCon podcast. Everybody, give it up for the great Eric Hunley. Woo!
Oh wow, great! I'm overwhelmed already.
Oh no, please don't feel overwhelmed. Please don't feel overwhelmed. Eric, for anyone who doesn't know, please plug you and your podcast and everything that you do, please. I'm going to get out of the way and send some links out in the meantime.
Cool. I host the Unstructured podcast, where I interview a wide variety of people. And these can range from the great Super Joe Pardo, who's been on a couple times. He was on an episode on his own, and he was on I don't know if I call it panel discussion. It was a conversation between him and Christopher Lochhead about charging guests. It's a really popular episode. A lot of people talked about it, got a good conversation going. I interview other folks, everybody from presidential runner-up libertarian candidate Austin Peterson to Robert Forto, who was a podcaster and musher. Yep, he rides sleds and drives dogs.
I'm glad you didn't say the other way around. Rides dogs and mushes sleds. One of the things that I absolutely love about Eric's podcast and Eric in general is the amount of detail that he goes and the painstaking process that he goes through to research the people that he's having on his show. I have a lot of admiration for that as a person who does very little research in the way of getting prepared for his own show. Literally was writing notes down before I got here, like on live. So Eric, yeah, like I have some big news, but I wonder if I should hold off on that news and maybe do some updates first, because we just have somebody else joined us, the great Stacy Greenberg.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi. I don't know what I'm adding to this party, but I said I'll join.
It is a party. It's a celebration that we haven't, like I said, I haven't even gone through the process of announcing what we're doing. Stacy, real quick, tell everyone about yourself and what you do for anyone who is uninitiated to yourself.
Uninitiated. That's an odd word to use, but thank you. My name is Stacy Greenberg. I am an interior designer. My company is Interior and Design LLC. I'm a small interior design studio located in Collingswood, New Jersey, serving the greater Philly, South Jersey, and the world and beyond. So that's what I do.
And so Stacy and I have known each other for a long time, thanks to the awesome MapCon, which I have to plug here, and Stacy and I did a awesomely long Facebook Live talking about the history of MapCon and the growth of MapCon and all that stuff. And for anyone who doesn't know, MapCon is the Mid-Atlantic Podcast Conference. Go to midatlanticpodcast.com. It's September 6th and 7th, and it is in Atlantic City this year. So I'm greatly looking forward to that. So thank you for joining us, Stacy. I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Eric?
We're going to have a coupon for it?
We are gonna have a coupon. I should have posted. I should put that in the Facebook thing. No, wait, that's not it. Where is my? Okay, I'm gonna have to work on that while I'm queuing up the great Ross Brand, who's coming in right below me here.
Hey, Ross.
Welcome, Ross.
Hey, Joe. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Eric.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Ross, why don't you introduce yourself and all the great things that you do?
Sure. I am a live streamer. Livestreamuniverse.com is my website, and I live stream my podcast. I also help people with Alexa flash briefings. My background's in broadcasting, worked in radio for 12 years on air, and after some time away from that, I got into the online space and fell into live streaming, podcasting, and just general social content creation.
That is awesome, and I'm just throwing it out there for anybody who wants to come hang out while I get ready for the big announcement that's coming a little bit later today. All three of these people. This isn't meant to be a sponsored by MapCon, podcast episode, but it kind of is, as all three people are coming to MapCon. Both Ross and Eric are. I can remember which way to point. Are speaking at MapCon, so. If you want to come to MapCon and you want to save 15%, you can save 15% off your plus and premium tickets. Go to midatlanticpodcast.com/register and use promo code MapCon5 to save 15% off your ticket. So I was kind of hoping that I could just have some people come on. I break the news. You guys ask some questions. Hopefully, if you have any questions, please pop them in the Facebook chat and just kind of go from there. I think I'm pretty sure the three of you know what the announcement is. Pretty sure.
No, pins and needles here.
Oh, wow. A lot happens in 2 weeks, Stacy.
Yeah, really.
Around me, it does, at least.
Definitely.
Well, we will definitely get to that. I think what I want to update people first on is the top with Super Joe Pardo and where we're at with that, because it's been a little while, right? The first episode came out like over a month and a half ago. And I haven't really made a lot of announcements about it, but I am super proud to announce that not one, but 2 episodes have been booked and scheduled to be shot. Both. Thank you. We have 2 great business owners that I definitely feel like I can help. And I have some special guest experts coming on board to help with that. Excuse me. So I'm absolutely looking forward to getting that done. And so it's we're shooting I think it's July 13th and 27th will be the date. So I'll probably try to do some Facebook lives there and kind of get get some hype train going. And Ross can tell you all about Facebook lives, as that's his jam specifically. Well, I guess YouTube and it's live streaming in general, I should say.
Yeah, I've done a few Facebook Lives along the way.
Well,
I've never done one.
You're doing one right now,
and you didn't want.
I know,
not
but
that long ago.
coming from mine, I'm getting ready to do mine.
Right.
I'm getting ready to launch a weekly Facebook Live. Ask Stacy.
That is awesome.
I know, it's happening.
Are you scared?
Yeah, because I don't know what I'm doing.
We talked about this. You answer your questions.
No. You can't see the screen. Look at me. I'm trying to get my phone. I'm doing this on my phone. Trying to get my phone so it's not moving.
My lights are like blowing my camera's blowing my face out. One or the other. It is what it is.
It's what it is.
You gotta have the what is it, like this amount? I got the spacing right, I think, but it's the It's the light. The lights are just way too powerful or the camera's not good enough in here. But the important part is that you do it, right, Ross? That you just get out and do it.
I'm doing it.
The more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so with these 2 episodes, you know, I still I'm a little unsure about the future of the top. Like I got the 2 episodes booked. I'm working on getting like 2 to 3 more episodes booked in the near future, but it's just taking a lot longer than I kind of initially hoped. You know, these types of things, I was kind of hoping there's like bang, like you get the sponsorship right out of the gate and you get people are excited and you just like you start going in, you're helping people and it just kind of happens like super fast and super naturally. And what's come of it is doesn't happen super fast. It doesn't happen super naturally. And you have to constantly like, hey, are we good? Can we schedule for this date? Can we schedule for that date? So with the network, they want 26 episodes in a season. And not that I have to, make all 26 episodes before I release the show, like for realsies. But it's something where it's like I want to get enough episodes where it's like I'm not constantly like behind and making it where it takes over my life. I got to the point where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go with it, go with the flow, go with the flow as according to Nemo. If anyone's familiar with the Nemo the musical, and just see, take one episode at a time and see what happens. And when we get to enough episodes where I feel comfortable and I have enough scheduled out into the future, that I can, be like, okay, we're gonna ride this train,
Right.
So I guess my question from a podcasting standpoint, because I have 2 people who are in the live broadcast space, podcasting space here, soon to be 3. How much in the can are you guys doing? I mean, I know Ross, you doing live streams is not the same as being able to put things in the can.
Well, the thing is, after the live stream and before they become podcast episodes, there's a lot in the can, because the first thing I do is I have like 3 guests for each of the live stream shows I do. And then I want to make as many of those into podcasts as possible. But oftentimes I do a YouTube, depending on what the subject matter is, I may do a YouTube video first. So even whether I do the YouTube video or whether I do the podcast version, it's still a lot of repurposing, and plus I do little clips and things like that. So I always feel like I'm playing catch up. But creating live at least takes the creation process and puts it in a finite area, right? Like I only have to spend an hour on actually shooting the content, so to speak.
That's one thing I love about this format is that there's no editing virtually involved. What about you, Eric?
Oh God, I have a ton in the can right now.
What's a ton?
Well, to me, anything above 5 is a lot. I don't really like. I don't like sitting on interviews for too long, because even though they're not exactly evergreen, they're supposed to be, you kind of reference things at certain times and realize that, oh, I was recording this at Podcast Movement, I'm talking about the crowd, and I released it in March the following year. People are going, what? So there are certain things, or you'll reference, like if I was recording today with somebody and I mentioned, well, it's a good thing Trump didn't actually attack Iran. Well, now I've, just in a side comment, kind of
you dated it,
material, and we do it inadvertently.
Yeah.
Well, but then you could always do an overlap on that. Yeah, I mean, because I know I've done interviews that I haven't launched yet, but I've got them, and they were a while ago, but they're not really relevant to contemporary. So if I would put them out now and it was like a year ago, I would make a comment that this was recorded a while ago. So
well, personal choice too. Another thing I found is there's a certain little honeymoon period right after the interview, where the guest is super excited about it, you're excited about it, everybody's thrilled, and the closer I can get to releasing the episode during this honeymoon period, the more likely the guest is to share it themselves and be excited.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair point. I would agree with that. And I mean I used to keep up to like 20 episodes in the can at any given time because I never, at one point I was releasing 5 days a week. So that's only 4 weeks. Like that'll go quick if I don't have guests, guests cancel or whatever it is. But then as I started to back down to like 3 days a week and then 1 day a week, it's like, okay, now I got like 15 episodes. That's coming on like a quarter of a year, a quarter of a year here. I can't have, that's too much content to be out like that because you run into things like that. Or if you want them to be timely and things of that nature. But so getting back to the show, with the top, I'm willing to just kind of take it step by step, see how things go, and work on getting sponsorships naturally. I mean, the episode on YouTube continues to get views day after day after day, so it's growing. I guess from like search results or something to that effect. I'm not 100% sure. I need to like dig into the analytics of it actually, because it's been a little while. But so it's a positive note to me to continue to see more likes and more. I mean, they're not incredible. It's not like hundreds of views a day. It's like 1 or 5 a day, 2 a day, that kind of thing. But over time, it's just continuing to mount, and I'm still getting people reaching out to me to be on the show. A lot of those people aren't necessarily in my area, and I can't afford to fly to every single place, right at this moment. It just doesn't work that way, unfortunately. So yeah, so that's the big news. If you're just joining us on Facebook Live, I have 2 episodes of the top with Super Joe Pardo being shot in July, and hopefully they'll be out by like August, September. Fingers crossed. And then, I'll just release them maybe like 2 weeks apart or 3 weeks apart. And just hopefully in that 3 weeks apart time span and with all the hype through like doing Facebook Lives and things of that nature, I'll be able to continue to just get more ground. And I have a few other people that want to be on the show too. So it's not impossible that I could schedule a few more. And then before you know it, I'm at like 10. And then I start to feel like, okay, if I can schedule enough, boom, like I'm ready to rock and roll and move forward with the project. But in the meantime, I just love helping people and creating content. So that's where we're at with that. I'm sorry. Did somebody?
I said that's you.
Oh.
That's you.
Yeah, you just got to keep moving. Got to keep moving forward, right? One step in front, 1 foot in front of the other.
Does the network tell you kind of like what they want from you in order to go to the next step, or they just kind of leaving it to you to tell them when you're ready?
Yeah, it's when I'm ready. Like they're open to, they think it's a good idea for me to post the first episode on YouTube, and I plan to, like I said, continue to post them onto YouTube for the foreseeable future, because like to me it's a long-term game anyway, right? So it might take 2 years to get this going, especially because if I had to deliver 26 episodes, it's insane. It's insane because if you go and look at like other TV shows that are smaller shows, but even like The Prophet, the season of The Prophet is like 6 episodes.
Sure.
So like it's a thing that, it's like a pilot season, not just blah, there you go. It's one, a whole big thing. If it was just a talk show, I don't want to say just a talk show, but if it was a talk show format, like, yeah, I could be producing that right this second and it wouldn't bother me a bit. I mean, I probably would try to do a little bit nicer job with my backdrop here, but it is what it is. This is the realness here. This isn't this isn't fake. This is really what it is. And I think that's what people appreciate about me and the brand and the product that I put forward. So I was like, we'll see. So for anybody who didn't know, last week I got to interview Todd Cochran of Blueberry, and it was a wonderful time. I see some shaking heads there. It was a wonderful time getting to talk with Todd and get to talk about the history of podcasting and learning some things myself that I did not know, like about the Podcast Hall of Fame Awards this year. Unfortunately, will not be happening. That's a shame.
That's disappointing.
It is. Are you just learning about this now, Ross?
I did not know. Although
Oh.
I knew I hadn't seen any announcement about who was getting inducted.
Yeah, I hadn't either, and I didn't really think about it too much. But then once he Eric asked about it, and Todd spoke on it. So if you want to see that episode, go to midatlanticpodcast.com, and you can listen to it there. If you go to the Facebook page for MapCon, you can scroll down and find the video of me chatting away with Todd Cochran of Blueberry. So it's a shame that that's the case, that it's not happening this year. But I think but to speak on MapCon, so MapCon, Todd is also attending MapCon for the first time in 5 years.
Wow.
He's gonna be in the house, and apparently he's bringing his credit card for drinks at the bar.
That's very cool.
So you might want to get yourself a free drink from Todd Cochran and get yourself 15% off your ticket by going to midatlanticpodcast.com/register and popping in your promo code MapCon5. So I have, and I didn't unbox it, but I have the microphone kits from Audio Technica here too. That I should probably break those out for the next MapCon podcast to show those off. And then, so some people have been asking and reaching out to me and asking about the status of, building a franchise with my family's repair shop, Pardo Fleet Solutions.
Mhm.
So I kind of wanted, because it's been a while since I've really updated on that, and part of the reason I haven't talked about it a whole lot is because there's a lot going on, but at the same time there's like not a lot going on. Basically a lot of it's been in the expansion phase, like expanding our trucks, our truck mobile offering. We've added 3 trucks so far that are constantly on doing road calls and on-site work and stuff like that. The computer system that we've been using has worked out for the most part. It's been pretty good. Everybody's got like iPads now, and it's very the flow of information is a lot better than it's probably ever been. But with that said, there's still hitches that come up. Like this morning, there was no internet. Was anybody affected by this morning?
Yeah.
With Verizon and Cloudflare getting knocked out? Stacey,
I don't have Verizon, but it's been horrible. For 2 days, it's been horrible.
For 2 days.
Horrible. Like I'm really mad. Horrible.
Well, you're doing pretty well right now.
No, that's why I'm
wood.
on my phone. I started to connect. I can't hold a connection on Facebook on my computer. That's why I'm on my phone. It's
Weird.
very weird.
So we were really affected this morning by the Cloudflare and Verizon outage, because we have Verizon Fios at the shop, and
Okay.
but we also use Cloudflare for our DNS server, for anybody who knows what that is. So so things like that come up, and so it's not perfect, but the flow of information is there, and we're getting our marketing together. We're starting to get people to like our Facebook page. We installed a Smurl. Has anybody heard what the Smurl what a Smurl is?
No.
I've heard of it. but-
No. So Smurl is, I think it stands for social media in real life, and it's a like counter that you put on your in your shop. And it counts the likes that are live. Like you hit like on the Facebook app, and boom, like within 5 seconds, it's like flipping. Yeah, like an old clock kind
Now
of feature.
serving. No, sorry.
I'd like to see that in action.
Yeah, it's really cool. I have thought about I might do like a review, like a video on it. I don't know. It's pretty neat though. Like we've seen our count, our like count go up. People come in regularly. Like, there's a little a card that says, hey, watch the counter flip around and stuff. And people are like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Like,
So do people come in your shop just to look at that?
no, like people that are like coming to check in to get their stuff repaired.
I'm kidding.
You have something they can scan.
So so there is a QR code.
And then they can hit
I
it with
bought
their phone and like it.
Yeah, and has an NFC tag built into it. It's like a sticker. It's like $15 on Amazon, and you register the QR code. And I actually need to go back to that because it's been a couple of weeks now and see if how many have come from have used it. It might be 0 for all I know, because I mean I don't really use QR codes. I use them more now that like Google Chrome has it built into the browser. Like, yeah, so you can just like boom, get it right there. Does anybody else use NFC tags or QR codes?
I've used QR codes a few times on a live stream when I've used Wirecast. They actually have a QR code generator in the latest edition, which is kind of cool because when you give out a website during a show or whatever, then it's not a clickable link, obviously, that you're putting on the screen. And if somebody's watching on the computer, then they have to click into another browser and leave the show, whereas this way they just hold their phone up and scan it, and then they go to it on their phone, but they're still watching the show.
Yeah.
Kind of
That's
cool.
a smart idea. That is real.
That's what I was thinking about for your shop, Joe, because if they want to see the sign change in real time, they would scan the code and like it while they're sitting there, and they go, "Oh, look! Oh, it did it. That's kind of."
They do. Well, we have a sticker there. Like they sell like a sticker for like $15 that you can like. It has a NFC tag in it and the QR code on it, and you register it to tell it where to send it to. So we have that, and we have like they said, like the little things that say like go to facebook.com/PardoFleet. I think it's Pardo Fleet. And it'll takes you right to the
you don't know where you work.
Well, I didn't know it was Pardo Fleet Solutions, like facebook.com/Pardo Fleet Solutions versus Pardo Fleet
link, and then you could track where it's coming from.
Yeah, that's another. Yeah, I probably should do that. Well, we're moving over to WordPress. That's another big thing that we're doing. Is I'm working on a new website, which is also one of the reasons why I haven't gone real heavy on like sharing our website and that kind of stuff, because it needs some work. So we're building a new website. We're also working on a podcast that I wanted to have launched already, but it just I was like, let me get the WordPress site done first, and then we'll work on getting the podcast, because I'll host it through that with PowerPress and all that stuff. So it's coming. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to host it. I think maybe. And so there's things coming. There's
I'm not seeing your dad hosting it. I'm sorry. I just don't see that.
He might be watching this right now.
Oh, hey, Joe's dads.
You're still plenty involved in the business.
I'm sorry, what now?
I said, so you're still plenty involved in the business. You're just not working there full time.
No, I am there full time.
Oh, you
on
are
top
there.
of doing everything else.
Oh, wow.
On top of the big announcement that's coming right after, like right in a little bit here.
When is it coming? I'm on pins and needles, for God's sake.
So speaking of which, let me announce,
please,
that I have a new initiative that I'm starting up that is it's a mission-based business. And I think the mission is something really special, and it's come together over a number of years. This business is something that I've wanted to do dating back to about the first anniversary of this podcast, when I did my first version of a piece of apparel. And actually, was it the first? Yeah, I guess it would have been. Yeah, it was the first anniversary. So I'm starting an apparel business, and it's, I wanted to do something special. I wanted to make it unique, and I wanted to make it so that there was more of a reason to buy in than just like, oh, it's a cool shirt. Because so people have been coming to MapCon for 4 years, going on 5 years, and I've gotten nothing but love and great accolades for the shirts that I've created by myself, the designs for them, and then also for some of the other shirts that I've created for this podcast, even back when it was called the Dreamers Podcast. So I wanted to do something, but I wanted to do something that wasn't just me creating a bunch of designs, put it up on a website and like, go buy a shirt. Like, it's cool. Buy my merch, buy my book, buy my book, for anybody who is a Critic fan. Anybody a Critic fan?
A who to what fan?
The Critic? No. Okay, so I'm the
Sorry.
only one in this room that knows who the. Look it up. Look up "Buy My Book," and it's pretty funny. Anyway, so what started out as like, oh well, we'll attach like a donation to charity kind of thing. It'll be great. Turned into, why don't I look at doing something a little more hands-on? I'll say. So what came of this was, I'm about to. Ross is chatting it up. So what came of this is, I wanted to create a mission that helps the homeless. The shirts, the apparel that I'm creating is for entrepreneurs. So I wanted to create stuff that, speaks to entrepreneurs, speaks to the culture, speaks to positivity, dreamers, and people that are into tech. So when I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do it in a way that is unique and kind of special, right? So every piece that I create is only available for 234 hours, and then it is gone. It's not coming back. So that's about 10 days, 9.75 days. So that's for every single piece. And there's only one piece available at a time. So when you go to the website, there's one piece available. And if you don't like that piece, come back in 10 days, because maybe you'll like the next piece that's there. And I want high quality shirts. I want, designs that are inspired, because when I started looking around at what some of the other entrepreneur shirts are out there, I didn't really get it. I wasn't really feeling it. Hey, John, what's going on? Or should I say Regor? Regor?
Rigor.
Regor.
Not A.
Right, Regor. Anyway, I wanted to create something that was really unique and special, and spoke to the entrepreneurs out there that are really focused on positivity, and I wanted to do it in a way that was, made every piece unique and special. And I wanted to do it in a way where I could bring entrepreneurs together and create a community, which is kind of what I'm known for, especially with the MapCon community, originally the Dreamers podcast community. And so I was like, you know what? We're going to create a special secret Facebook group just for people who have bought a 234 design. Right, somebody who's bought that apparel. So it was like, okay, so now we're networking entrepreneurs together. Like, okay, so what can come of that? Okay, I'm going to create content. We're going to do Facebook Lives. We're going to, connect. We're going to do live events, that kind of stuff. So you have to buy in to get into the group. But then I was like, okay, well now that we're going to go from just like making a donation to a nonprofit, let's take it one step further with the homeless. What can we do? Well, we're a bunch of entrepreneurs. We have a bunch of resources. Let's help them build their own businesses. And so we're going to put together business boot camps in, all over in different cities. And we're going to bring nonprofits together that have resources for the homeless, like food, clothing, showers, haircuts, social workers, and bring them to these business boot camps so that homeless that are interested in getting, help and starting their own business, not only are they getting to meet with me, not only are they able to get like a free haircut, not only are they able to get maybe a shower or working with a social worker on, because they're people, so they have outside issues going on outside of trying to build a business or just trying to get work. You bring the entrepreneurs from the T Crew in, which is what I'm calling the Facebook group, and you bring them in, and they can work one-on-one with these people. They can give inspiring talks. They can give we can do all these great things at these business boot camps, utilizing local resources and what we have available to us. So the goal, because there's about 550,000 homeless in America, the goal is like, okay, if we can hit 1%, if we can create 1% of them create their own business, we just created 5,000 businesses.
Wow.
Like 5000, right? That's to me, that's incredible. So that's the goal. And one of the nicknames that I was given that I should call this, because if you go to the website, you go to 234 threads.com. In at the end of the video, you'll see why. But it was suggested I call this the Stallion Project. What
The
it?
stallion?
Yeah. So I guess you haven't seen the video yet, Stacy.
Oh, okay.
You get it now?
No, I don't get it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So So if you
No, why don't you show us?
so why don't I show us? Will
Yeah,
the
see, I can't
sound
look it
route
up.
through here? I don't know if the sound will route through here though.
Well, we could try it. I don't know.
Let me see.
Well, you have an expert on the screen.
Yeah, is Mr. Ross? Is there a way to route the sound easily?
If you're doing what from the website?
Share screen share, yeah.
Yeah, actually, are you using Chrome?
I am.
Okay, so go to the video that you want to.
Okay.
Do you want to play it from a browser, or do you want to play it from like a QuickTime or something like that?
I could play it from either way. What's easier?
Okay, so open a Chrome browser and just.
I can open up the video. I'll open the video.
I think it's better this. Let's try it this way.
Okay.
Open the Chrome browser.
All right.
Go into screen share. Share your screen, and then slide the video up into the browser and play it from that browser. You should get audio without having to route the audio or do anything.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Share. Boom! Look at that. All right. And it still fits all of our windows in. That's nice.
There you
How
go.
about that? Let me take this down so you can see Stacy. Okay, so if I take this, if I just hit play, you think you'll hear it?
Can you go full screen on it?
Yeah, you don't need to see us.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, it seems.
It's choppy, like my
Yeah.
internet.
Can you guys hear it?
See if you can actually drag the video file from your desktop or wherever you have it
Okay.
of that video into the screen share.
All right, let's try it. Let's try this. I just tried to download the video. So it did not.
Can
it
you
did not do it.
open a blank tab and see if that works? That's how I understand. Okay, and then you have the video like on your desktop or
Yep.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens if you just drag it into the tab?
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Now hit play and see if we get the audio.
Still
Is,
No
choppy.
audio.
is your tab muted?
Is my tab muted?
Yeah, go to the tab and right click it.
Okay. It's not muted. It's not. Yeah, it's definitely not muted. It's not, I mean, I hear it coming through my speakers or through my headphones.
Bummer.
Yeah, I think if you want to see the video, you should probably just go to it. But I'll fast forward to the part where this is the reason why it should be called the Stallion Project.
Yeah.
What is that? Oh, the Italian
What is that?
stallion. All right, I got it. Because it's Philly.
It is Philly, and I think it's a good representation of people, for people that, have suffered through something that has affected them in a way that got them where they're at.
I don't know. Everybody's at different
And they're
places
fighting.
in their stuff where they're going. So I didn't get it. Sorry. I don't mean to be
well.
negative Nancy here.
Well,
No, not at all.
Comeback story.
Hey, if you want to try one more thing,
Yeah.
take the tab off of the rest of your Chrome browser, and then when you do window share, select like a Chrome window and see. You know what I'm saying? Like you go to the app share thing when you're doing the share screen.
That app, app window or Chrome tab. Chrome tab, maybe?
Yeah, like share screen, and then it should give you like a bunch of app choices or whatever. Like you could share the whole screen, or you could share an app. And then if it's not, let's try it where it's not like next to StreamYard in the tabs, but the tab is pulled off altogether. Yeah, see if it works now.
Nope. Yeah, that's a shame. You should go there and check it out. The browser is really overworked. StreamYard is quite taxing on resources. That is a good point. In fact, while we're talking, I should probably open up Max Fan Control so I can crank my fans were already cranked apparently. Yeah, that's not surprising. We're in a hot garage, so so yeah, so I'm gonna take that down. Well, actually, no, wait, I'm gonna leave it up, and the reason I'm gonna leave it up is so that people can check out the website without having to go check out the website whenever it decides to load. So this is just the landing page right now. So we're launching June 30th at 8 p.m. Why June 30th at 8 p.m.? Because July 1st at midnight was a bit tough for me to launch the actual page at the time in which, and do all the switch over. So we're launching at 8 p.m. Plus, I want to do a live stream at the time in which it launches. I'm really excited about the project. I think I think a lot of people are going to be really happy with not only the quality of the product, but the mission that we have behind it. And the first shirt that I wanted to offer was a shirt that is my most popular shirt from MapCon, which is the Mic Dropper shirt, speaking of which I have them sitting right here behind me. So the original being like this. And it had the MapCon.
I remember that.
The MapCon logo on the side, on the shoulder.
Nice.
And the one that's being released on the 30th is in green, which was never available before, with the gold logo, with nothing on the sleeves. So yeah, it's it's only going to be available. This shirt specifically will only be available for 234 hours, but also only 234 sales. So this specific shirt will not be available. I mean, I don't know if it's going to sell. I hope it does, but I have no idea.
So what you haven't explained is where this came from, like where this idea came from.
Where did this come from?
Right, I think you and I were talking about this. Tell people where this came from, this idea. So
the idea to sell shirts or to...
Yeah, the whole idea. And then I know you were wanting to do something about giving back, but yeah, what was the backstory on this? So
the backstory is, like I said, I've been doing shirts for different events and my podcast and conferences, and I really like creating like inspired works, and I was like, I want to create a site. I want to have a way to outlet the creativity. I like I said, I love creating them, but I didn't want to create something that was going to be a pain to market. Right? Like, or not, like, because it's not a pain to market, but like when you have an abundance of stuff, it's like it just becomes this whole it becomes like a whole nother thing that I probably don't really have time for. So what I wanted to do was create something that required as little work on my end to create. And because I also originally was like, oh, I'm gonna have to order all these shirts and figure out sizes and like what sit on inventory and packaging. So I was like, I had to figure out the logistics of all that stuff, and it wasn't until I started really thinking about it, I'm like, well, how does people like Supreme sell a t-shirt for $150, right? Like, what are they like? How are they getting away with this, right? This is crazy, right? Because people resell that t-shirt for like $600, which is equally as crazy. But it happened. So I was like, how do I create that fear of missing out, that FOMO, and create something that people will want to like go and check out and have a reason to go check out like every so many days, without just, like I said, if I just created like 20 designs, like here's my collection of shirts, it's awesome, like go find it. Like there's no urgency to buy, there's no mission, there's no community, there's not a lot of me baked into that. And so that's when I started like, okay, well, what if I like limited the amount of shirts, and it all kind of came very quickly. I was like, I'll limit the shirts to 234 hours because 234 minutes is only about 5 hours. Now, with that said, when you buy into the T Crew and you buy a piece of apparel, there will be limited edition apparel that is only available for 234 hours. So like it might be a Mic Dropper hat, that and it'll only be available for about 5 hours. Like it's there and it's gone and that's it. It won't come back in that color.
Not a lot of time. 5 hours is not a lot of time.
It's not a lot of time, but I want people to have to make that decision. Like, do you want it or you not want it? If you don't want it, that's okay. Like it's cool, whatever. No big. What are you gonna ask something, Eric?
Yeah. What about if you did the first 234 minutes? It was like $1 cheaper or something.
I'm open to that as well.
Kind of like a rolling sale. Like the longer you wait,
the more it gets, and
then it goes away.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You know what? One of the things, though, one of the issues I had when trying to formulate all this was keeping it simple. And trying to make it so I could explain it to people. And the more people I tried to explain it to, the more I realized that, I had to, I had to figure out a way like to simplify the message. Because even before I was going to donate to a nonprofit, like you have to explain what that nonprofit does and how it ties into the mission of why you should be buying one and all that stuff. And it was a conversation I had with somebody that I was interviewed from a podcast a few weeks ago, and they were talking to me about all this mission-based stuff, and we started talking about other ways to, like, what if you limited the shirts in, like, okay, in this city there's so many homeless people, we limit the shirts to this amount of sales or this amount of minutes, and then there's like boom, it was like a flashlight. It was like a bat signal went off, and I'm like, oh man, like that makes so much sense. Like what if we did these boot camps where they can come and learn and connect and network, and even in worst case, like say they, somebody comes and they're like, I thought this was maybe for me, it's not really for me. Well, here they are networking with other entrepreneurs who might have a need to give them a job. Right? To give them like, hey, here's this laptop, get free Wi-Fi, boom. All of a sudden you can start, they can start making money if that's, something that's, or if they already have a laptop, like, you never know, right? Everybody's situation is different.
Chromebooks, Joe.
Yeah. A Chromebook, laptop Chromebooks,
that's something affordable and easier to, ramp up to scale.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I think so that's where it's like it all just kind of started to come together. And so I put all the technology together, like all the right plugins and all the right services together into a website, and bada bing, bada boom, here we are.
That's a Jersey thing to say.
And Ross, what came to the rescue? I don't know if you saw internally.
I'm sorry, what came to the rescue?
Ross did.
Oh, I did see that. I'm going to get back to that in a second, Ross. Thank you for messaging. You said the CEO of StreamYard. That's pretty sweet.
You've got a guy on here. Good to see.
See, and I see Anita says something. 3 days is okay, but 5 hours will be complicated. That's what I'm saying. It's I know you want to create this FOMO, but I think that's hard because sometimes you're not in a position to purchase right that moment. And 5 hours is like less than a work day.
It is. So what I think the way I might combat that with is doing it on a schedule. So it won't just be like a flash sale kind of thing. Like, hey, like Mondays at 6 a.m. this you got 5 hours, you're on the clock. Yeah. That kind of thing. I get and maybe the format 3 days, maybe it needs to move to 3 days. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe as it grows, instead of being 234 minutes, it turns to 234 pieces. And when it sells out, it sells out. You know what I mean? Like that's, as it all grows, that's a good possibility. So I appreciate the feedback, Anita. I agree. I think that was something that I kind of maybe discounted in the idea that, like, okay, so if we had 5 hours, but it's like when is that 5 hours? Now, something else I wanted to bring up, and I know Eric, if you don't mind me talking about you a little bit, you brought up the idea, like, well, what if we did a collaborations through the platform, and and that got me thinking like, oh, well, that sounds really cool. Like we could offer shirts through, you know, create, you know, unique designs and offer them as well through the platform. And maybe donate some of the portion of the money to a charity of that the collabs partners
I
choice.
love that idea. I love that idea.
Especially as the network grows, it's like it just has to make sense.
Yep.
So I am like super on board with that kind of stuff. Doing these kind of collaborations to make that happen.
Well, plus you need a design every 3 days. How are you doing that? I mean,
no.
color every 3 days or something.
So okay, so these designs, like the one you're looking at right now on the screen over here, is 10 days. The ones that are the flash sale ones that are for people who already bought into 234, those are the ones that I mean, I'm thinking I might do that like every once a week, once every couple of days, or once every couple of weeks. It's not like a consistent like.
So you have 36 designs though, even for a year. I'm just saying it can.
Yeah. So right now we have about 20 laid out. They're not finalized. Like I still have to go through and like finalize them all, but and get the files like create like Adobe Illustrator created kind of thing. They're really just sketches. So I don't have all the final files together, but with that said, like I'm not worried about, because at least I have I have the ideas, and I have quite a few of them sketched out already.
Plus, you can
will people be able to submit their sketches to you to create this, like in any of your collaborations?
Yeah. So we could work together on creating designs and getting that, getting it all together. Plus, I think the other thing that I love about this is it creates like a timed marketing plan. So like I always have a reason to reach out to people, right? Like, and that reason is the shirts just went live. The shirt is, already sold, blah, blah, blah. And it's getting to, we're halfway through, and the shirt's about to go, it's about to go dead. You'll never be able to get the shirt again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it creates like a predictable marketing pattern that I was actually quite excited and looking forward to, because creating things that are not predictable is really not something that I have a lot of time to dedicate to. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Did I miss something?
I was going to say, you have help with this at least.
I do have help. So my wife has been super helpful with getting this together and getting it all, and that was the other thing. Like I said, finding a way to kind of repurpose things that I already have or that I'm already doing, and so it's not going too far out of my curve. You know what I mean? To like make this happen. So I have people that are already willing to like do the outreach to the nonprofits in the different, in cities to get these things scheduled, like these boot camps scheduled. So my goal there is probably within about 6 months to be able to start doing these boot camps. So within like 3 to 4 months, have one scheduled. And within 6 months, having at least the first one done. That's the goal. So that all rides on people actually like buying into the mission and doing, everything going right. But I'm looking forward to that. So if somebody else could talk while I get this video queued up here, trying to use Ross's suggestion from the CEO of StreamYard.
Well, I had a question. So how do you know where you're going to schedule them? How are you going to, somebody's coming up with the idea of a group that is in need, or an area or something like that, or?
So that's a great idea. That's a great question. I haven't crossed all that. I mean, I want to start local, because I have to fit it into my schedule. So I'm like Camden, Philadelphia, maybe Wilmington, New York, So it's just how do we get to this place? I think it really depends on how fast this grows. The faster it grows, the more likely I can give more time to it. I think the other question that I have for myself that I haven't figured out, and maybe maybe y'all can help me here, is at least with this first shirt, there's only 234 available, right? Like sales. Is like, do I launch the next shirt right after it? Like, if say it did sell out, like magically, like poof, sells out. Like, do I move on to the next shirt right after that, or do I hold off until?
Well, aren't you putting them on a schedule when they're going to be released? Like,
yeah. So they will be, but that doesn't mean that I have to follow the schedule. Rules are made to be broken.
Well, I think if you want people, isn't it kind of like a podcast episode or a blog or whatever? Here, it will be released. This is the date. So I think you need to have people be able to count on that. Otherwise, they will miss out.
I drop it on Tuesday, and then
right, exactly.
Specifically Tuesday, because that's when new albums drop, new books drop, new everything drops. So people are already inclined to realize that things are published on Tuesday.
Right.
Wait, well, actually, I thought music moved to Friday. I don't know about books.
Books are Tuesday. My wife's a librarian.
Oh, okay. Books are Tuesday. So yeah, music moved to Fridays a few years ago, like a decade ago. I don't know, something like that.
But the point is, if you say that every Tuesday or every Wednesday, whatever the date you pick, that's when people will know to go and look. And if you do sell out, you sell out. That's the way it goes. You weren't doing this to create more issues, right? You're trying to make it as stress-free as possible.
I trying to, that doesn't always pan out for me. I like to go big.
I know, but if you're starting out, Joe, you stick to the schedule, and then as things go on, if it works and it's successful, then maybe what you have like little flash sales in between if you really do sell out. That's different. But at least they know they can count on the next drop or whatever you're calling it, on that specific date.
Well,
right?
The goal was to do it on the next day. So it's 9.75 days. So like whatever the 10th day, like the morning of the next like say 8 a.m. the next 10th, on the 10th day,
yeah,
is where it would be.
But you just said, what happens if I sell out? That the answer to that was
on this one. So then I wait till the end of the 234 days, and then drop hours, and then drop the next one.
I mean, if you're creating them, and I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was thinking that would overlap. I mean, how long is 234 hours exactly?
I mean, if you go into Google, it's 9.75 days.
Okay, so then
it's 9 days and 18 hours. I think something like that.
It would be part of the thing, though. You're going to kill it if you try to overlap it and stick in extra sales where that wasn't the point, right?
Well, this is only with this first shirt. Like after this, it's 234 days. Like it's not supposed to be limited. Like, yeah, it's not capped. At least it's not supposed to be. I don't know. I mean, I'm still trying to figure it out myself. But the goal is to be limited. So at least 234 days is just a matter of whether it'll be limited. And maybe there's something in it where like there was something back when I was first talking to that person who brought up the idea of like, how about you sell a number of t-shirts or a number of apparel for that city that you're trying to raise it for, like of the number of homeless in that city. Like that could be a thing. But I mean, some of those numbers are unfortunately very high. So
34,000.
Well, you never know. But you never know. Maybe a city rallies around behind it, and like you get 34,000 sales, and like I guess you just don't know. And maybe that is a way of looking at it. I think that could work. That opens up the ability to like, okay, I'm going to do like a Philadelphia shirt, and it's a Philadelphia, entrepreneur with a shirt with like a Philadelphia overtone or undertone to it that speaks to that specific city, and we're only selling enough, like the number of, we're limiting the sales to the number of homeless that are in that city. That,
Okay. And there's a
Yeah,
real
right?
number to that? A real reliable number?
No, there's not. It's a guess.
I don't know. It's a
Okay.
guess. It's a guess, but I don't know. I mean, it's literally better than nothing.
No, the point is you pick a specific number based on the, I guess, I don't know what makes sense. So if you're trying to,
234. Boom. We just did it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying is that I think you're trying to,
So we'll sell each shirt $500 and we'll call it a day.
For the
no,
one
no.
is 234 shirts total, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first one only has 234 shirts when it goes live June 30th at 8 p.m.
So why not just take the time factor out, other than just say, this shirt is on sale, 234 of them, a new shirt comes in a week. Whatever happens, either a week or 234, shirt disappears.
That actually sounds a lot more simple to explain.
And then we can get into the tricky stuff later. But I'm just saying it that way you have a set thing. This shirt is available for either a week or 234, whichever happens first. If you don't get it, make sure you jump in next week. And you don't have to say how many you sold either. Like, let's say you only sold 30. Doesn't matter. It's gone in a week.
Well, it
Oh,
does
that's a
show
good
on the
point.
website. It does show on the website how many we've sold
I wouldn't
of
say
each
that
shirt.
way. I wouldn't show
No?
you know you're getting good numbers.
Well, the thing is you want to show how many are left, so you can do simple math, right?
Yeah, but why? It's going to go at the end of the time period anyway. So
Urgency.
what's the difference?
There's got to be urgency. Don't and I kind of hate those sites where they say only 16 left, and then you hit
Yeah.
refresh, only 20 left.
Yeah. Did you have something to say, Ross?
No, I was just gonna say the number works for you if you only have 5 left or 10 left. It doesn't work for you if when you sold like 10 and you've got 200 something to move, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hide I can hide both those numbers in the short term.
We're trying
when
to
we get
take
close.
it out of the swarmy mode too. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, but unlike those, I mean, like I said, we actually have like a mission and are trying to accomplish something, and you're getting to buy into a great group. But I mean, I guess some of those cases you do buy into a group.
Yeah, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it if you're giving information at a certain point, like, hey, if you want to get this shirt, like, yes, it's a sales pressure tactic that people use. They like, going out of business, and then they never really go out of business. Sales.
Yeah.
But
Furniture,
if-
yeah.
if you're actually just honestly telling people like there's 3 more hours until this sale is over, or 3 more shirts remaining, get it now. I don't think that's giving people like information that they can use.
Otherwise, don't say anything. So either you say,
Right.
hey, there's only 2 days left, guys, move now. Or if they're going really well, hey, these are 75% gone.
Right, like just a reminder that it's getting close to the deadline for people.
So I'm trying it now. I figured out what Ross had sent over. I don't know if it's going to work though as far as choppiness. Entrepreneurship is often a lonely path filled with doubters.
You need to quit and get a
You
real
need to
job.
quit and get
Are
a
you
real
making
job.
any money?
Do you
Is
think
this
you're
even
going to
gonna
make any
work?
money? Aren't you worried about your
This
family?
is never gonna work.
See, you know something that they don't. That you are willing to do whatever it takes to make your vision into your reality. Empower yourself to learn from your failures. Entrepreneurs in your corner will help you discover the shortcuts to reach ultimate goals. You may not have all the pieces to the puzzle yet, or know how they all connect together, but you know you will figure it out. On my journey to becoming an entrepreneur, I walked away from my family's $100 million company. I wish I had a team of entrepreneurs from around the world in my corner when I started back in 2014. Now you have an opportunity to make that dream possible for yourself. When you purchase a limited edition t-shirt, you gain access to our private community known as the T Crew. I'm on a mission to help 5,000 people who are struggling with homelessness start their own small businesses through hosting free workshops across the country, bringing together T Crew entrepreneurs to help inspire, motivate, and work one-on-one with participants. Being part of the T Crew means helping impact countless lives around us. This is your story. This is your vision. This is your time to thrive. Together, we will help you build the business of your dreams.
Nice.
Not bad.
Thank you. It was a little choppy.
The audio sounded good that time, though.
It did, and that's the important part for the podcast. So great, awesome. Did the audio not work before? I guess.
No,
Okay,
that's
so
the first time we're hearing the audio.
that was the secret sauce. Okay.
So so I don't know about these other two guys, but as an interior designer, I would love to be able to donate my services for when you have something like that going on.
Mhm.
You know, I do it. I haven't done it, but I've offered my services to vets. So I would love to be able to do that for your group here. You know, so maybe somebody starting a business, maybe they need some help putting a space together. You know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things that, that's one of the reasons to bring all these great people together is that everybody has different niches and different backgrounds and different everything, to be able to provide their uniqueness to the mission.
You can really satisfy some urge for people themselves. Like you're putting a lot of entrepreneurs together and people who know how to develop things, like you have Roz, etc. Maybe somebody like Stacy not only wants to do interior design, but she wants to build a video course. That video course that could be shared with these people on Chromebooks, because maybe Stacy's not local. I think she is, but I'm in Hampton Roads. I'm nowhere near you.
Right.
Yeah.
So having people who have different talents and skills, maybe they've always wanted to create an online course. They can use this to donate for that, as well as use that content for themselves. I mean, having a selfish motive built in always makes it a win-win, and people are going to jump quicker.
I like that. So you can create something that you sell on the market to people who can afford it, but then you also donate it to the cause for people who, obviously couldn't afford it and could use those skills or lessons, whatever you're teaching. I think that's brilliant.
Maybe
I definitely
do later. So you could donate the course itself, and then maybe you donate a portion of each one that you sold, because you benefited from it, and just a win.
So one of the other things that has to come from this, probably in the next 6 months or so, is actually starting my own nonprofit. It's something I've wanted to do since probably about three plus years ago. I wanted to have a nonprofit. I just didn't know what mission, what to get behind, what to do, and I'm sorry.
With all your time.
Yeah, right. With all the extra time, but I mean,
I was thinking it. I wasn't saying it out loud, but I was thinking.
I always tell Joe, how many times have I texted you stuff?
all the time. I just didn't know what I wanted to get behind or what I wanted to do with it, and now I think now this is the thing that it can enable so much. I think I'm really excited to be able to just bring people together. That's what I love to do. It's like number one.
Another question. Sorry.
Yeah. No, don't be sorry.
Have you heard of Bombas?
Yeah, of course. I have a pair. I have a couple pair.
Well, if you're working with homeless, why don't they get a shirt?
Yeah, I mean,
every shirt you buy, they get one. I don't know if you could. But it would be.
Oh, you mean donating a shirt to the homeless?
Yeah.
So I thought about that, and here's why I kind of shied away from that. Right. Number one is we, I'm bringing entrepreneurs together. We're able to give a lot, and by being able to work with other nonprofits, there's people that already have this kind of stuff they're already doing this really well. So I'd rather work with them and give them some of the spotlight, give them some of the ability to shine, than like me saying, okay, here's a shirt. Because the reality of it is to give a shirt that I would have to make the price of the shirt. We haven't even talked about price of these shirts, but I had to make the price so much. And I quick shout out to Ross for keeping the chat alive. I much appreciate that, Ross. So I would have to make the price of this of the shirt so much to offset, unless I did lower quality shirts. So then you get into a whole nother okay, so now we got to get lower quality shirts, and that's not great either. And even lower quality shirts are still not like, it's still not super cheap. So that's why I feel it's better to just
Sure.
work with the people that already have the resources in place to make that happen.
Mhm.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, that's the initial that's the plan. We'll see how that gets executed upon as we go. And if we find that, like, hey, maybe this is a better way of doing it, you know, then maybe that's a way to do it. But each shirt, you know, it's not overly cheap, unless, like I said, unless
Are
I
they the
just get.
same prices, or every time you post one for that 236 whatever you're going to do, is it the same price always or different prices?
So right now the plan is to keep it the same price until we get bigger. Once we get as we
Okay.
get bigger, as the value of the group, of the T Crew group grows, as the
Mhm.
value of the nonprofit, and as the value that we see, like, well, if we had this amount of money in the nonprofit, like, we could accomplish X, Y, and Z. Like, then as all of that grows and as the demand for said shirts grow, the price probably will continue to go up. Will it get to the point where it's $100 a t-shirt? It's not impossible. I mean, I could see the day where that's a possibility. In the beginning, probably not. but at some point, you know, as the network grows, as the desirability for people to want to be a part of it, and the mission grows, and the need for more dollars to grow to more cities everything grows. I could absolutely see getting to that point at some point.
I actually think, was it Eric that said it with the donating the t-shirt? Was that you, Eric?
Yeah, and I think I figured out a solution, Joe.
I actually came up with one too. I think that if you put it out there, there has to be an option where somebody who is bidding on the t-shirt, they get the option to donate a shirt too. So if it's $25 or $30 or whatever you're charging, somebody who really wants to do this, they have the option to click the button to donate. So basically they're buying two t-shirts, but
And
one gets donated, right? Is that?
that was the idea I just thought of too. Excellent, but
Great minds,
Carry
great
on.
minds.
Have a different shirt, and it would be the same shirt that would be donated to the homeless people. Like, you know, something about the project, and
Mhm.
that would be the shirt that's donated. So they would buy their own shirt, whatever the current design is. You could leverage the quantity to get the price down a little bit more by always having the same shirt.
Oh yeah,
The
absolutely.
234 project, saving lives, moving forward, whatever, and then that's actually advertising the product with
Yeah.
all the people who are wearing it.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I think that's a great way of going, because, like, if I have to print each shirt myself, like, those, you know, template fees add up very quickly.
Are you printing them in your garage? I'm joking.
Items
Joking.
apparel.
You know, if I you know, it's not impossible at some point. It all depends on where we grow, but right now, they are going to be drop shipped from a company. So
Remind me to get with you, because where I work at the factory, he does something. I always see my landlord. I know. I just realized you don't know who I'm talking about. The landlord, who is awesome. Tom
I met him
Marchetti.
once. Yeah.
Tom Marchetti is the owner of the factory. He's the landlord, but he also makes live edge tables. But he also has, I rent a studio there for everybody who doesn't know. And one of his extra studios is given to, I see it. I don't know what he does, but I've never really actually asked him. But I see aprons and lots of other, like, bags, and it's all American made. That's his thing. That's his branding. Everything's made in America. And I actually think, Joe, he produces something like that. So let me ask him if he's got something going on that he is such a giving guy. You two should really get together. Maybe there's something there. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll ask, you know. So it might be like a side gig he does, or he employs somebody. I'm not really sure of the story, but I will absolutely ask him.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I am. I think that's a great idea to get to the point where we get, you know, because if I get the price down to, like, you know, like $3-4, now you're starting to talk about something that I could, you know, that could be really worth it. But I do like to create high quality. But the thing is, if I'm getting them printed, I can get, like, higher quality at cheaper prices. But even cheaper prices is still, like, $6, $7, $8 a piece.
Right.
Which adds up quick when you start talking about like hundreds. But
I'm saying
so as long that, like, you see what I'm saying? Like the price of the t-shirts got like
Sure.
it's got to go up if we're going to get to that. But if we do the most basics of shirts, one color, one side, that kind of stuff, you can get it for in the $4 or $5 range. But even then, there's still the margins still don't make a lot of sense if I'm taking some of that money and also putting it towards getting these boot camps together, having the people to put them, to actually go and put them together and get it all together.
Joe, that's the for $8 more, $10 more.
There you go. That's the upsell, right?
No,
But also, if you want to take it to the next level, you also go if you're trying to give a homeless person a job or support entrepreneurship with a person who is currently homeless, you could find some way to incorporate this with the people making the shirts. Meaning, somebody, maybe there's a shirt maker. You know what I mean? Somehow there has to be a way to file that in. I don't know if that's now, but that would be a really good goal.
On it, absolutely, because they can brand the hell out of it. They are
the people. Yeah, they are the makers.
That absolutely love that idea. That is definitely something that we can all this starts with just getting shirts sold, right? And getting
you invited us in. You invited us in. What do you think is going to happen?
This is why I invited people in, right? Because this isn't it's bigger than just me. I'm not the one that came up with all these ideas. Like they were spoon fed to me from other people that I talked to and other things that I researched. And I think that's, it's important for people to, and I've talked about this on the show countless times, right? You gotta be able to put yourself aside and listen to what other people, the ideas, because it all gets mixed up and that's how you get the final version. So like I said, for me, it was about how do I get something behind it, and then how do I keep it simple as possible. I can explain it in 7 words or less, because it's like limited edition entrepreneur t-shirts with a purpose.
And a timer.
Right. But like that's the thing that's not as important as the mission, right? And then that all kind of came together when I started like looking at them, like, because originally it was like, oh, limited edition entrepreneur t-shirts. It's on a timer and we donate 10% to this nonprofit. But then you have to start to explain like, well, what's that nonprofit? What do they do? And it just gets into like these things. So when the mission came on board, I was like kind of hesitant to like put that in the forefront, and I was trying to figure out like how do I want to make this go, and eventually I was like, okay, and this is all in the span of like 2 weeks, like less than 2 weeks here. So getting all the pieces together, getting the website together, all this happening very, very rapidly, and getting the messaging right so that people understand what the heck I'm talking about when I'm talking about it. Is just very it's a process that I like going through very, very quickly, like I have.
Yeah, but I think you were ready to pull the trigger, Joe. I think you were really looking for something. I think the universe opened up and said, "Here, Joe."
Looking for something.
I'm always looking for something. You have to be, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you always have to be looking for the next thing. What's that next thing that's going to take you to where you want to go? I mean, look, people have criticized me for having lots of things and too many. I mean, even in this episode, you can find people that have criticized me for that. And I'm okay with that, because I don't know. It's just it's what I'm here to do.
Bubble. Don't let them pop your balloon, Joe. Don't let them pop it.
It ain't popped. It ain't popped. It ain't going to be popped.
You're just kind of massaging it down.
We're gonna get there one t-shirt at a time, and that's the goal here. Creating inspired work and creating inspired artwork, inspiring other people and bringing people together. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
No man is an island.
No Medicine Island.
Right? No man is on his own.
No, absolutely. I haven't done this by myself. I mean, I put a lot of pieces together by myself, but a lot of it came, those pieces came from somewhere. And I'm very thankful for that. And I'm always excited. Oh, Ross, what did you have to say?
Oh, no, I was just going to say congratulations on the launch. I mean, this is an ambitious project, and, obviously you put a lot of thought and time into it and everything. And we're all here to help, I think. I mean, we all want to be, I certainly want to, buy a shirt and get in on the ground floor and join the group and, do what
I appreciate that. So the tagline that you wrote, Eric, in the private chat here was "Buy a shirt and build a life." I do like that.
7 words, dude. It's the best I could do.
I think that definitely. The only thing is I don't know if that is explains enough of it, but I think that would be the good tagline for, like you were saying, like on the 234 thread shirts, the 234 shirts, like that we were to give. Anita says you can make masterminds in Bali, Joe. I think there's a conference for media in Bali in July. That sounds awesome, Anita. I would absolutely love to do that.
Nothing would get done though.
And Bali in July has got to be incredibly hot.
And probably incredibly cheap.
Well, isn't it equatorial? I figure it'd be the same year round.
Well, well, the problem is well, it's not really a problem. Is I got 2 kids that are very young at this point, and the amount of time I can spend away from the house is, I mean, even doing the TV shows it's a challenge. Filming the first episode was on a Monday, because that's what fit the person that Sandra's schedule that we did it with.
So I'm going
to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Find more projects then, since you have so much time.
Right.
Yeah.
Get those kids filming. Let's go.
Yeah, well, Ava wants to have her own TV show. She's asked several times, and I think we're getting.
You created the monster. I see it all the time in your posts.
Oh, she is wonderful. I'm excited to do that with her. I don't know if we'll post them. I don't know. We'll see if they're any good. If they're good, then I'll post them.
YouTube is calling. YouTube is definitely calling. Come on.
Edit them.
Absolutely.
Well, I'll do that with all the minutes that I have. All 10 of them.
You're always looking for something, dude.
Well, if I can make more money, then I'll just have someone drive me to work and back and forth to work, and then I'll have an extra hour in my day that would be awesome to have.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can you see this close? You know what this is, right?
The small silent or money. No, I know. So
you're gonna be fine. It'll all work out. We've all been through it. I don't know about you two, but I've raised 2 of them. It all works out. They know you have to work, and I took my kids to work all the time. It's the way it goes.
So we were on a ride on Sunday, and Ava says, "Dad," it was just me and her on like the Ferris wheel, and she's like, "Daddy, every day you wake up and you go to work, and I miss you."
Oh,
that's what that was. Remember, I said, "Where are you?" I thought you went away, like she missed you.
Yeah, no. That wasn't when she said it. She said it again while we were together, like just me and her on the Ferris wheel. Out of nowhere, like she said that. But of course, she gave. I don't know if you saw. I had the $2 sticker on my chest, and the sticker. She came to me and said the sticker said, "I love you, Daddy." That's what it was, a $2 sticker, like a round $2 sticker for like a yard sale. And she said,
how old is Ava now?
She is 3, almost 3 and a half.
Oh,
no,
so
3.5. Yeah.
You have about 10 years before the "I hate you, Daddy" comes in.
Well, we're working towards it, one day at a time. So I think at this point we need to wrap up here, because I am getting very tired. It is almost 9:30 at night. I got 3 people I need to have them say their outros and where people can connect with them. But first, let me say I am super duper thankful for all 3 of them coming on and being a part of this Business with Super Joe Pardo episode. So I'm gonna let Eric. You want to go first?
Sure.
You're
Eric-
welcome.
Hmm?
You're welcome.
Okay. Cute. Eric Hunley, Unstructured Podcast or unstructuredpodcast.com. Wherever you listen to shows, you'll find me.
That's yes, and you should. It is a well researched, well put together podcast that you will most certainly enjoy if you enjoy a great, phenomenal interview. Stacy, would you like to say where people can find you and your services that you offer?
Yeah, Stacy Greenberg, Interior and Design LLC. Soon will be an official podcaster. The show is going to be called The Inside Outlook, and of course, it'll be all about interior.
About time.
Yeah, it's coming. It's really coming, and we're going to get the Facebook launch, Facebook Live launch. I think probably this week or next week.
How about you set an actual date? Let's hold.
No, I'm not doing that. Not doing the date.
Yeah, you need to do that.
It's coming.
People up at MapCon about that all the time.
Yeah,
When?
but anyway,
When?
you can right now, and the Inside Outlook, the link will be on the website. So that website is www.interioranddesignllc.com. Really a mouthful, but go for it.
And Ross, where can people find your awesome shows? So you have multiple shows, right?
Yeah, so you can find pretty much everything at livestreamuniverse.com. There's also Livestream Deals and Brand on Broadcasting are two of my podcasts. Joe has been on each one of them recently, so you can check those out, livestreamdeals.com and brandonbroadcasting.com.
Very cool.
Awesome. And all three of these amazing people will be at MapCon this year. You can get your ticket at midatlanticpodcast.com/register. You can get 15% off your plus and premium tickets with promo code MapCon5. I hope to see you all there. I feel like my camera quality significantly improves if I put my hand up like this.
No.
It like reflects enough light back, but then not have to like blow out my face. See, it's like crazy different, isn't it? It's ridiculously bad.
As an interior designer, I could help you with that light issue. I'm quite sure.
I got two
It'll be
brilliant lights. Look at this. I got the suns right
good.
up there. They're crazy big. It's just a matter of I don't know what's the matter of. You know what I need to do? I need to get the Logitech file or camera stuff on here so I can change the settings. Anyway, MapCon 5 in September 6th and 7th. Go to midatlanticpodcast.com to find out more. Everybody, I hope you all have an amazing week. I have one other thing that's coming that you'll get to find out about. I got this box here that was dropped off. It says Fragile on the side. It's got something in it, and I'm going to be reviewing it / creating maybe like some kind of artsy video that gets a creative outlet for myself. So I'm looking forward to doing that in the next like week or two because I ain't got enough to do anyway. So look forward to that. I will see all of you next week. I don't know who my guest is going to be or what we're going to talk about, but I promise you it will be entertaining because that is what we are all about here at Business with Super Joe Pardo. Everybody have a great week.
Woo.
Take it easy.